Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Car Question. We're sitting in the Honda Clarity Touring, the plug-in hybrid version, and this is one of my favorite because you cannot have fear of being stranded in the middle of nowhere without any battery. And believe me, it's worse than when your phone is out of battery. So let's talk about the specification and the road handling of this car. First of all, Honda is using a unique technology when it comes to this car. It's the two-motor hybrid technology, which consists of an ultra-efficient 1.5-liter DOHC IVTEC Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder inline engine coupled to a starter generator motor. This is the first one. And you've got the ultra-quiet 181 horsepower AC synchronous traction motor and 17 kilowatt hours battery pack. So the 1.5 liter engine, 16 valves, will have 103 horsepower at 5,500 RPM. The torque is rated at 99 at 5,000 RPM. The AC asynchronous traction motor, 181 horsepower, but 232 pound-feet of torque between 0 and 2000 RPM. So when you combine those numbers, you will get 212 horsepower at 5500 RPM, which is not really bad. The transmission is an eCVT of Honda, an electronically continuously variable transmission, and the battery is lithium-ion in 168 cells. So if you plug this car in a 240-volt charger, you will have the possibility to go from empty to full in 2.5 hours, which is not too bad. But if you plug it in a regular outlet, 120 volt, it's going to take 12 hours, a little bit longer though. So you've got also an onboard portable charging cable, good for 120 volt. You've got a battery heater, and it's a 32 amps charger. So let's talk about road handling with this car. So you have to know that approximately 40% of this car is using ultra high strength steel body structure. You've got a lot of aluminum though in the conception, the hood, the front fender, the doors trunk lid, the rear parcel shelf. So this is made to save some weight because this car is heavy. She's almost as heavy as the Honda Pilot, but it's not the same size. You've got different drive mode. Let's talk about the EV drive. So the Clarity will operate exactly like an electric vehicle. The engine is off and is decoupled from the drivetrain to reduce friction. And by the way, steering is electric, everything is electric, AC, heater, name it, you don't have any restriction that is applied to those engines. In EV drive, the motive power comes from the electrical engine, the traction motor one, and it's going to draw electricity from the lithium-ion battery pack. The hybrid drive, and that's why I like this car. In the hybrid drive mode, the Clarity will function as a series hybrid. Like EV drive mode, the motive power comes from the electric traction motor. The coupled gasoline engine and generator motor produce electricity, which is sent directly to the traction motor or to the battery pack depending on the driving situation and the battery state of charge. And when you're going to be switching to engine drive mode, it's typically engaged when you're cruising at medium or high speed. The Clarity will function as a parallel hybrid. A lockup will connect the engine, by the way it's always linked to the generator motor, and the traction motor to send power directly from the engine to the front wheel. Unlike most competing hybrid and plug-in hybrid vehicle, the Clarity does not use a conventional transmission, which is going to save weight and minimize complexity while improving efficiency. And that's what I like again about this car, efficiency, where it shines in the hybrid mode, in the EV mode, when the gas engine is running. It's really perfect. You've got different buttons to select the reaction mode, as I could call them. You've got the Icon button, which will change the map to the governing system output, which will promote full electric driving. Once the battery energy is depleted, the changes are made to the throttle map to encourage driver to use less of the available performance, thereby potentially extending the practical driving range compared to normal mode. The normal mode will be the balance between sport and econ. It's going to be more reactive. When you're going to switch into sports mode though, it's going to be more reactive, more acceleration feeling, and it adds to the Clarity plug-in hybrid fun to drive nature though. So the HV mode button will also preserve the battery state. You will use it during a long drive at highway speed. This is not where the electrical powers will be really useful. You're doing a long drive, you will run out of pure range electric battery, and when you press that button, the gasoline engine will help. But it will also sustain the battery states of charge in the most efficient manner. If you hold the button for a longer time, it will cause the battery to be recharged at approximately 58% before returning to the short press mode. In this long press mode, all electric operation will not be available. So that's okay, because as soon as you're going to enter a city or get into traffic, you will be able to use that energy, and where it shines, where it's maximized in those regenerative braking situations. Acceleration are not that great though. They're adequate, but they don't really shine even if you got great torque power coming out of the electric engine. Remember that there's two roles in those engines. They can also recharge and give power. So it's really different from the consumption of other hybrid where the gas engine will only act as a generator. However, when the driver desires extra power in situations such as a highway passing, higher performance can be evoked by pressing the throttle pedal through a resistance point or a kick point. So if you floor it, you hear that little thump, and that's when you will have full power of the engine and full power of the electric motor together for maximum acceleration, regardless of the driving mode that you choose. The brake feeling is rather normal. The ABS is really non-intrusive though. You can floor the pedal and you won't get hit with that nasty electrical feature right there in your leg. You can use the braking, or you can use the steering wheel mounted deceleration paddle selector, but it doesn't give you really that one pedal driving possibility. The brake lights won't light up, so it's not really aggressive. They should have done probably a little button here who would have created awesome regenerative power, but also brake and be real efficient, maybe more than for setting with the paddle. That regenerative mode will be more efficient if you're going down a hill. Just release the accelerator, switch it to the fourth level, and it's going to be the same thing if you're exiting highway, so you can use that instead of using the brake. But remember, if it's important for you to brake, always use the big brake pedal though. The direction, nothing exciting, a little bit vague, but it's typical of PHEV vehicle. There is worse on the market, believe me. The lithium-ion battery are packed beneath the passenger compartment to keep the center gravity low for optimum handling without intruding on passenger or cargo space. And you have to note that the center of gravity of the Clarity is lower than a regular gas engine sedan. You will feel the reduction in the pitching motion when accelerating or braking, as well as in the body roll of this car. But thanks to that unique suspension that you see in the rear, it's really truck-like in some kind of way. By the way, the suspension is comfortable. You can feel the weight of the car though when you're in the turn, when you're in the middle of the turn, and when you're exciting them. You've got a special frequency response dampers that will automatically tailor the damping force required to achieve smooth and nimble handling. But body weight is kind of heavy. Remember, this is not the regular car that you have. It will still hold the roads, but you can feel it's a little bit heavier than regular vehicle. Otherwise, regular comfort is really impressive with that car. You've got those nice cup holders. You've got those seats that are kind of soft, but they miss some lateral support though. And you have finally a car that can adapt to all your passenger with a lot of space in the rear. Luggage space is not too bad when you compare it to other cars on the market. And that nice floating center console, which is rock solid, and a lot of storage space inside. Where they missed it is the multimedia system. So the general comfort of this car is really okay. And when you're rolling, you don't hear the road noise, you don't hear the wind, you've got a great visibility, maybe in the rear with the mirror and the dual section that you have right there in the trunk. You need to get used to that, but still it's not really blocking your eyesight. There's a tons of security feature in that car, starting with the advanced compatibility engineering, the ACE body with crash stroke design. You've got features like collision mitigation braking system, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, road departing mitigation system, and you've got an adaptive cruise control with low speed follow. So if you've got those situations where traffic is heavy, you just press on that button and your car will follow the lead. You've got one of the best features that I really like. It's the Honda Lanewatch. You press the button right here on the side. You're going to be able to see exactly what's hiding in your blind spot on your right. And you can enable that camera, which is more clearer than the rear view camera anytime you need it. You have to note that there's a special unibody structure with the two-system load path structure that allows the Clarity plug-in hybrid to absorb front, side, rear crash energy and protect the occupants because it's going to distribute the crash loads through the structure while helping to maintain the integrity of the passenger cabin. And remember, these cars are really strong when it comes to impact. The fuel economy, the range, this is one of the questions that you probably have. What's happening with that? Remember, there is so many possibilities out there. If you just like to drive without charging your car, you can still do that. If you want to drive only in EV mode, you can also do that. But let's check the numbers. 5.7 liters into town, 5.9 on the highway, so it's a little bit higher. It's understandable because EV cars are not really efficient on the highway. So it's a 5.6 liter per 100 when you combine the number. Electric and gas, you're going to be able to do 2.1. But what we did for a 400 kilometer weeks, it was kind of shorter this week because we went on a trip to Detroit. So 0.2 liter per 100. This is amazing, but yes, I was charging the car, not at charging station out there in the town because it's not where you will be able to save money. It's at home. This is the cheapest place where you can charge fully the car each time. So for EV range, the maximum that you can do on papers is 76 kilometer, but it's more 55, 50 during the winter with the winter tires, the cold out there, the temperature change. This is much lower than I expected. Otherwise, I hope in the summer to be able to reach exactly the number. So when you combine both numbers, 547 kilometers total, you're going to be able to do. Remember that the fuel capacity is really low. You can use regular fuel, but it's only 26.5 liter for the tank. So at least you won't ruin yourself when you'll get at the gas station. So the car really shines. It's one of my favorite hybrid plug-in right now on the market. How about you guys? Feel free to comment in the section down there below. Are you ready for the plug-in hybrid invasion cars that are gonna fill the parking lots and also the city in the near future? Feel free to answer that in the section down there below. Do a thumbs up because you like car question. Next is coming the comparison between all of those cars. A lot of you guys ask me, how about the Volt? How do you compare the Clarity to the Volt? Well, you're gonna see that. So until then, subscribe, thumbs up, question is down there. Don't forget about that because we are Car Question. Take care.